Hi, Virgo. Welcome to your January 29th, 2020 reading. Excuse me. Happy New Year. Thank you for checking in to my channel. Please keep in mind this is a general reading, and so it may not resonate with you, all of it, but if something does, know that it's spirit letting you know, yes, you're supposed to be hearing this. And so please accept that. It's your guidance. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I did a meditation before your reading, and the card conflict, like when I was shuffling, it just plopped out of my deck like conflict. So I'm feeling like a lot of you are in major conflict, either with another person or with yourself in life, just how you're viewing the world, and that you really, really, really want peace. But I feel like at the core of that and what's going to get you there is forgiveness. It may be forgiveness from the past as a child with your parents. It could be forgiveness of self for mistakes that you have made or that you feel you have made. Or it can be forgiveness of others who have betrayed you or have done you wrong. But all of this is going to really help that conflict dissipate and, bring you that peace that you really, really seek. I have 3 positions set up here, transformation being the middle, and then the faith and courage energies that will be needed moving forward in January 2020. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Spirit, please provide me with the transformative card for my lovely Virgos out there. What is the card of transformation? You are my fellow earth sign. I am a Taurus. I love Virgos. We get along well. And so I'm really excited to do you guys reading. Let's go ahead and see what that transformative energy is. Okay, let's see here. Okay. What's at the bottom? You are good enough. It's interesting that I just said, you're my fellow earth sign, because Taurus actually got this card for the transformation position here. But this is your underlying energy. So it's not your card, but it's definitely showing up. And it's something that you need to remember and look at that full moon in Virgo. So this is really about you recognizing, regardless of circumstances and situations, that you are the bomb, right? That you are good enough to achieve anything that you want, and you are deserving of love. So the transformative card is communication is key. New moon in Gemini. Are you finding that your communication is like not the best, right? That it's really starting to like show up in relationships and the way that your interactions are going with people. Spirit is saying that this is what you can achieve in the month of January, by learning how to communicate, learning how this is pivotal in your life. This being pretty much the center, of your reading, it is definitely a big deal, especially when it comes to relationships. Talking things through. If you can't talk, make sure you're emailing. The way you text, it's really about the people that you love the most, the people that you see. Tell them how you feel. Be in your heart space, not so much in your head space, and communication can be even energetically. Like, what are you putting off? What do you want to achieve? Spirit is asking you to go within and see how this is something that you can transform that will benefit you. And I'm also hearing, how do you communicate with yourself? What conversations are you having in your head, right? Are they true? Do you challenge the ones that are not so good, right? Do you challenge the ones that may be misleading? But January is definitely a time where opportunities will present itself, and Spirit is saying be prepared. You know, use this as an opportunity to improve your communication all around, and it's going to propel you to that next transformative stage in your life. Especially, I'm hearing in relationships. It's a big deal in relationships. People can't read minds, you know. Okay. So what is the message of faith, Spirit? Hostilities. I told you the conflict card just really popped out. So, you know, Virgo, I'm just hearing that a lot of the conflict and issues in your life is really about communication, and even the hostilities, people may be coming after you. You may be feeling like you have to defend yourself. But yeah, it's really communication. That's what it's all about. So what is the message of faith? Oh, look at that. Door to romance. Yes, so romance is there for you. It's like it's right there. And what needs to happen is simply, well, not simply, but learning to communicate how you feel, keeping in connection with people, you know, being honest, being consistent, all of those things, and have faith that once you put in that work, that romance will definitely bud in your life and become, you know, very beautiful. I love this. So now I'm going to pull a message for courage. Let's see what the message of courage is for my Virgo. Are some of you Virgos dealing with a Taurus? I think you are. I think you have a Taurus in your life. What is the message of courage for my Virgos? Not my Virgos. The world's Virgos. Okay. Courage. What does Virgo need to be courageous about? Fork in the road. That's your underlying energy. I feel like that's about direction, where you want to go, the courage to take a leap of faith. Go the distance. This is all about, I mean, you get fork in the road and then go the distance. This is about movement. So I feel like you guys are kind of like stagnant right now, at a standstill, not really sure which direction to take. But this is go the distance, and it comes out in reverse. Let's see what that message is, because that'll be a message of protection since it comes out in reverse in the Wisdom Oracle deck. So I am going to look at that message for go the distance in reverse, protection message. And it says, do you feel as if you've been wandering in the desert now for ages and ages and nothing is happening? When you conjure up the image of a desert, you picture parched lips, sunburned skin, and mirages, but there is more to it than that. Amid the hot sands are creatures with resilient spirits, tough skins, and the willingness to burrow deep underground for water so that they may thrive. This is a time, Virgo, of developing survival skills and resilience. You are learning how to conserve your strength, and in the temporary time of austerity, it's wise to be selective about where you expand your energy. Listen to the call of your soul, because it will never lead you astray. This is an important time for letting go of what's not important. So having the courage to let go of what's not important. It's about movement. I feel as I look at this, yeah, it's about letting go, going the distance. And this could really be about romance, where you're putting your energy. I feel like, and this may resonate with only a few people, but it feels like some of you may have a lot of people in your life when it comes to romance, maybe dealing with multiple people, which could affect communication, which could affect how much time you're actually giving to even, you know, cultivate romance or anything like that. And Spirit is saying, you know, really, this is a time to learn yourself and truly listen to what it is that you need. Communicate with yourself in a way that you are really living a true life of what you want. So if you want romance and you want a partner, if you have a partner, and you just want that romance to enter into your life, then communication is very big. And if there's anything that is blocking it, or not allowing it to really come to fruition, having the courage to let that go. It could be an addiction, it could be a person, it could be a job. Not that you shouldn't work, but just really having an honest assessment of things that are maybe blocking your true happiness, and then making adjustments. That's what I'm feeling. And really that is about communicating with self, going within and figuring out what that is. And then if there is someone in your life, that you really want to go that that distance with, not being afraid to actually communicate that, and to actually have those conversations. But I feel like it's really about knowing who you are first and understanding that. But it's just once you learn how to communicate with yourself, then that self-love will come out all over, and that will enter you into this beautiful romantic. I'm even feeling like, even if it's not about relationships, it could be about just your energy when it comes to living, like being in a romance or a romantic energy, just going out into the world, and really not being afraid to build and try new things and go for the best jobs and things that make you happy and fulfilled, and show that you love yourself. That's what I feel as well. So this could very well be about relationships, but it can definitely be about your love of life, and your love, and how you exist in love in life, right? Okay, Spirit, thank you. I'm going to pull a few tarot cards. Two of Wands is at the bottom of the deck, really unsure about where to go. that stagnancy that I mentioned, and really just assessing and realizing that you have options and that you are empowered, right? I feel like that is the message that's coming in. I'm also hearing, just as a side note, music. Music will help you. Communication. I feel like music is a part of communication. It communicates to our heart. So if you're feeling down or unsure, listen to music. It'll help move your energy along. The center of your reading had the Ten of Swords. So definitely some heartbreak, feelings of backstabbing that is very hard to let go of, Virgo. It's something that you're holding on to. And then you get the Three of Pentacles. It's affecting your ability to work with others. Yeah, it's affecting your ability to work with others, which can be the reason why there are some communication issues. You get a card of conflict once more at the bottom, or the underlying energy of why there's this backstabbing. It's really about releasing. The Five of Wands is all about, it's a very, if you look at it, it's just a very uneasy card. A lot of conflict in that card. It comes out in reverse. So I feel like you are letting this go. You're trying to let it go, that it's really bothered you, especially with this energy of things coming to an end. But I think this is really about acceptance of things coming to an end. Maybe a job, or friendship. It could be relationships, but accepting that ending is going to play a huge part in you releasing that conflict that exists. In the past, yes, there was a death. There was a transitioning in the past. This could be the end of a job or a relationship that caused you to have to let go. Maybe a little bit before you were ready to let go, and you had to accept that. But the challenge here is to have the courage to go the distance, to realize that death is not stagnant, right? It creates a beginning. I mean, it ends one thing, but it can also mean the beginning of another by default, right? And so going the distance with that new beginning. That's what I'm feeling. Like, don't be afraid. Don't believe that this is the end, but kind of look the other way, right? And know that there is more ahead, and being able to go that way. And so the crowning energy, you have the shadow side. So consciously, you're aware that there are maybe some toxic things within your life, or a new beginning that you need to have within yourself, and actually facing that, right? Facing it and knowing that this is something that I have to overcome. Whatever that may be, the heartbreak, the backstabbing, the so-called failure that you may have encountered. But it's really about accepting that and transmuting it into a freedom, letting go and being able to move and with freedom, and not being afraid. So this is the futuristic energy, right? What you need to bring with you in the future. There's a lot of anxiety around this. A lot of nights you're staying up, you're in your head. And I think what this means, what Spirit is saying, is that you should get into your heart space, let this go. Know that all will be well, and that this is something that you can overcome, because this is, the Nine of Swords. The next thing, you already have the Ten of Swords here, and this comes right under the Ten of Swords. And so the anxiety is because you're not letting go of betrayal or things that have happened to you in the past. But Spirit is saying that once you let go of that, know that the door of romance will open, that this heart chakra, your heart, your energy will overflow if you let that go, right? You see yourself as, not necessarily at a completion, but it is a cycle of life, and it will come. There's always something new to learn, and if you feel like you're spinning in circles, that things just continue to happen. The goal is to learn the lesson and move forward, so that we spiral upward, right? And not stay cyclical, but we want to spiral up and continue to maybe relive these cycles, but in a way that it evolves us, right? So let's see what we get under conflict. We get the moon. Yeah, definitely just things that are unknown, secrets. It can be a lot of conflict around that, especially when it comes to this betrayal, or, the energies that we're dealing with, this conflict, just too many secrets, and just not feeling safe, not knowing how to move forward. But again, having the courage to remove yourself from this. And then the Death card, you get the Star in reverse. So you may be feeling like your wishes aren't coming true, but there is a healing. There's a healing that's coming from this death. It's a transition, and give yourself time to heal. Give yourself time to accept what has happened, and to accept where you are in this process, in this journey, so that you can move forward. And then the outcome, you get the Justice. Really just, I feel like the message here is understand, along with the shadow side, understanding that, everything we do has a consequence. And it's really about just accepting that, but life goes forward. Having the courage to still move forward is what it's all about. We all make mistakes, and that's real. That's real. And a lot of times we have to endure the consequences from them, and I don't like calling them mistakes, but we go through challenges in life. We end up with people, we end up in situations, we make choices that weren't the best, and but it all helps us in the long run. It makes us better. We become wiser. And what Spirit is saying is that this is going to transform you. And the biggest thing I'm hearing now after pulling these tarot cards is communication. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Beeping or shuffling. So yes, it's about communication within relationships, but what's going to truly transform that is how you talk to yourself, knowing that we all make mistakes, knowing that you are still worthy. Because at the bottom of that deck, we had, you are good enough. That was your moon, the moon, new moon in Virgo. So it's really about that talk coming through. That's how you talk to yourself, and that's really what the month of January is about. It's not allowing people and situations to change how worthy you think you are, and the kind of language that you express towards yourself, Virgo. Almost called you Taurus again. I'm convinced you're dealing with a Taurus. Okay, so what is the Buddha wisdom? As long as you have unwavering faith, you are a truth seeker. So have faith, right? That you can go through this transformation, that you will find what you're seeking and you will see the truth about yourself, you know? And that is what is going to transform that heart space. You will see the truth about yourself. It's not all bad. You are not a failure. You have not lost. This is not the end. This is a transition along the journey, and there's so much beauty coming your way. At the bottom of the deck, you have however many holy words you speak, what good will they do if you do not act upon them, right? So this courage, go the distance, is just so fitting, because everything that you do is about movement from this point forward. It's about moving forward. So you know what you need to do, dear Virgo, but act upon it. Each thought that you think in your head, choose the best outcome, right? Believe the best thing about yourself. Believe the best thing about the situation. Even create a different ending. Maybe it's about taking some time to meditate, to truly see situations in your past for what they truly were. Maybe it's about transforming out of that victim mentality and knowing that spirit has always had your back, and that you are such a great version of yourself right now. If you just look in the mirror and see that everything that has been done to you and everything that you have done has made you exactly what you are. And when you look in that mirror, maybe tonight before you go to bed and brush your teeth, look at yourself. Look at yourself and talk to yourself and say, I'm still standing. I am not perfect, but I am still standing. And because I'm here breathing, I have so much opportunity ahead of me that I'm ready to travel. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go, and you can do this. I love you, Virgo. Remember to love yourself. If it resonated with you, please subscribe. I would love to see you next time. Take care.